So over the weekend, President Donald Trump reiterated his demands for Denmark to sell Greenland. And the battle over the world's largest island is now also having an economic impact in the region. Lars Holte is with Deutsche Welle and joins me from Berlin on the story. Lars, what can you tell us about what's going on?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, what a wild weekend it was. On Friday, Germany and some other European countries sent a handful of troops to Greenland. It was not in an effort to engage in any takeover games. It was, in fact, in an effort to show US President Trump that Europe would be willing to take Greenland and its strategic position more seriously in future, to show that Europe can handle whatever Trump thinks might be a threat to Greenland. However, Trump saw the arrival of these troops as a European aggression, as a sign, and now that part is certainly true, that Europe would support Denmark in keeping Greenland instead of having to sell it to the US. And Trump reacted immediately by levying new tariffs on Germany, France, Britain, and a few other nations. 10% for now, 25% starting in June, and until, quote, a deal is done for the US to acquire Greenland.
Okay, Lars, also tell us, is the EU now preparing for retaliatory actions?
Well, utter shock and disbelief. And the EU called for an emergency meeting over the weekend where they quickly agreed on counter tariffs worth some $95 billion. That is tariffs on bourbon, on airplane parts, on soybeans, and on chicken. These exact tariffs have often been discussed. As a matter of fact, most recently, they were shelved after the EU did sign a trade agreement with the US in summer, a trade agreement that had very friendly terms for the US, by the way, and that was often called a capitulation by the EU. So now these terms are out of the window too. And it becomes so clear that the US under Trump is not pursuing a broader trade strategy, but that terms virtually change overnight. And that has even members of Trump's Republican Party alarmed now.
Thank you very much, Lars, for all those updates. Lars Holte joining me from DW in Berlin.